Alright guys, so we are in the thick of it. And man, how things have changed since I last spoke to you. But this is what I expected. Unfortunately, not everyone's going to see it the same way. But this is all happening for a huge reason. If any of you guys don't know about Dolores Cannon, I would highly suggest checking her out. I read one of her books, I think it was back in 2005. I picked up one of her books because I was dealing with some own issues from back in '85 when I had my first UFO experience. And since that time, it's like for like 15 years after that, pretty intense dreams of grays by my bed, traveling to different realms, but I don't want to get too far into that. But the reason why I bring up Dolores Cannon is that she really did an amazing job researching deeper into hypnotherapists through the subconscious of people's lives, not only in this particular lives, but past lives as well. And there was a particular book that I started reading, and I wasn't really much of a reader, never have been. Always had HD or HDD, HDHD, whatever it is. Always been hype, always as a child. And you know, being raised by abusive parents has kind of fed on to that. But when I started reading her book, I think it was called Convoluted Universe, and I think it was about over 700 pages long, and I could not put that book down. And I read it overnight. It was the most intense piece of information and eye-opening information I ever knew, and really opened my eyes up to the realms of energies and consciousness, and how we're connected to everything, including the trees, the planet, the rocks, everything. So this is a battle of frequencies, okay? So don't fall for I don't want to say a head fake, but they're basically trying to put people in a place of fear. You know, the media I'm talking about. And although it may seem like a serious event, and I'm not saying it's not a serious event, but as far as the virus goes, you know, people have died so many times from cancer and diabetes. It's ridiculous, and there hasn't been, you know, any, you know, priority as far as the people's health. So, but the good thing is that this gives us an opportunity to connect with the earth, get your gardens going. There's going to be a lot of disruption, and I hate to say it's going to be a good disruption, but I mean, when we're constantly distracted by sports, you know, go to family events, you try to talk, and for the most part, the guys, you know, all they want to talk about is sports and who won this game and who's, you know, playing in this football team and the other. Now, all that stuff is you know, been canceled as far as not football, but basketball, soccer, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to force people to wake up and deal with themselves. You know, not everyone's going to take this very easily. So, but the important thing is that take the time to go in nature, connect with the trees, because if you take the time and sit with the trees and expand your consciousness, your energy field, okay, you will feel that connection with the trees. Sit by a tree, okay? Try to push your energy, your consciousness into the soil, and you will feel the roots, okay? And they will communicate with you. They will help you if you ask for guidance. They will give you love. Hug a tree. Extremely healing. But what we're going through now is really an amazing time. The financial system, everything has been corrupted in our lives. As I'm sure most of you know, our planet has been corrupted for eons. We have been lied to for eons. But all that's coming to an end now. I thought for sure, you know, when 2012 was coming around, you know, everyone's talking about everything's going to change in 2012. But when 2011 rolled around, I looked at consciousness and like the main public, and like, how are we going to just flip a switch? There has to be more learning. Okay, sorry, that's me kicking. So you can't just, you know, skip a grade, so to speak. So we're going through the healing process. And that's why it's important to, you know, purge out all of your, you know, the issues that you might have. You know, if you have regrets about your parents, you know, deal with all that stuff. You know, people that, you know, you went through in high school or elementary school that did things to you or whatever, all that stuff. You have to get to the point where you absolutely appreciate everything that you've gone through on this planet, okay? Because this is all just a realm of experience, okay? This is a school of thought, and this is a frequency war. So as they try to, what's the word, trigger you, right? Into a place of fear, okay? That's what they feed on. I mean, they live off of that. You know, that's one thing I'm kind of happy about as far as the sports arenas being closed down, because there's a lot of feeding going on in those stadiums. You know, I don't want to get too far into it, but when you get off on an emotion, when you're at a game, okay, when I used to go to boxing matches back in the day, you know, I went because I enjoyed the sport of it, okay? Yes, it's not good for your health, I get it, but I love the art, especially martial arts. Always enjoyed it since I was a kid. But you know, when you go to these places and you feel the energy in the people, they get really revved up, you know, this is like animalistic part of us that comes out. And they feed on that. And then it's not just games, it's in our dreams, you know, and they feed on that. So they're gonna be starving too. I'm not saying we're gonna be starving, guys. You know, there's gonna be food. I know it's gonna be, you know, so I'm not gonna be as luxurious as you guys once thought. But you know, if you're growing your own vegetables, you know, plant your own gardens, connect with your farmers. You know, we have our farm season starting in let's see, in May, and they've closed the what do you call it? Well, I live by the beach in Bethany Beach, and they do the farmers market here, and I want to say, not majority, but a lot of the smaller farmers that I talk to, they really depend on those farmers markets, so the tourism that comes in here. And they're going to be feeling the pain. And I had told him this over a year ago to try to make sure that, you know, he protects himself from the fraudulent system that, you know, we've been living in for decades. What I mean by fraudulent system is the financial system. You know, I'm not going to get into a big thing of that, but if you really want to know the history of our banking system, look into the Federal Reserve, how it was created back in, I think it was 1913. JP Morgan was a big part of that. But that's just one part of it, you know. This story is really goes back eons. This is just in our particular not our generation, but in the last 100 years, you could really see how it's all been laid out in terms of how they put the infrastructure together, between the financial system, the religious systems, and the war systems. Okay, that trifecta is what holds it together for them. So now all that's coming apart, and I'm not bashing on religious anything. Okay, I grew up as a Catholic. I even went to Catholic school. Didn't last long, but yeah, I mean, you have to understand that the corruption has now been exposed. As far as the Vatican goes, and I'm not going to get into all the perversion or nothing like that, but you guys know what's up. So, all right, guys. So that's it. Once again, these are some amazing times. So you guys stay in your heart. Okay, stay centered. Keep your vibrations high. Okay, and it's gonna get a little crazy, but you're not gonna get sick. Okay, just know that. All right, you're not gonna get sick. All right, this is a game of thought, a game of frequencies. So you just keep your frequency up and keep your heart always in front of you. All right, guys. Until the next time, much love. All right, peace.